Sayyidina Thawban radiyallahu anhu narrates that Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam has said something to the effect: soon people will invite each other, plotting against you, just as a person eating invites others to share their dish. Someone asked, will that be because of our small numbers at that time? Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam replied something to the effect: no, you will be many at that time, but you will be scum like that carried down by a flood. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take away the awe and fear of you from the chest of your enemy and cast wahan into your hearts. Somebody asked, what is wahan? And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam replied, love of the world and dislike of death. Narrated by Sunan Abu Dawood. Time leaves nothing unchanged. People change, circumstances change, and even places change. Places like Fietas, where a vibrant and varied community once lived, struggled and thrived. There now lies a desolate plain with a few lonely houses dotted in between. Houses that once rang with love and laughter are now empty shells, taken up only in the darkness of the night by the homeless. A forgotten place, a stone's throw from the heart of the city of Johannesburg, where everybody or somebody who everybody knew lived at some point in their lives. And now, just a handful of the former residents stay on, unwilling or unable to leave. Residents like Ali Baba and Maulana Hassan Ghani, amongst the squalor and the influx of the poor, the illiterate, the drunkards and the vagrants, they stay on in Fietas. But soon, they too will move on, move up and move up.
عشوة شوف العشوة عشوة فيها لمة عشوة تسعد قلبك في برنامج عشوة في برنامج عشوة لا 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 لا.
As the clock creeps closer to midnight, Ali Baba snores gently in his bed and dreams of a time gone by. A time when the hours took hours to pass and the hands of the clock ticked gently by. In his dream, he is a young man again, standing on his front stoop, watching the children play outside on the streets of Fietas. Streets that are alive and pulsing with the spirit of those who call this place home. Houses that are filled with people from different races, religions and cultures, but who are all woven into the fabric of Fietas. He sees the young Hassan Ghani running towards his house, calling his name. Come quickly, Uncle Hassan, quickly, something happened to Daddy. Ali Baba feels the blood pump through him as he sprints to his old friend's house. He finds Ashraf lying on his sofa in the sitting room, pale and weak, looking as though he has aged 100 years. Ash, is it really you? What happened? What's wrong? He croaks. And Ashraf replies, don't worry about me, Al. You have to help him, my grandson. He's close to you, but he's in trouble. Help him, Al. Help him.
عشوة شوف العشوة عشوة فيها لمة عشوة تسعد قلبك في برنامج عشوة في برنامج عشوة لا 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 لا.
Having recovered somewhat from the shock of finding out that her husband has another wife and a child also, Salma is sitting in the open-plan lounge dining area of their holiday home in the Makhalis Mountains. The boys have gone up to their room, but Nazia sits across from her mother, not knowing what to say to her, scrolling through her phone. She desperately wants to go to her room, but she realizes that in Salma's precarious state of mind, she cannot leave her mother alone. Dozing off for a little while, both mother and daughter are awakened past midnight by the sound of a car pulling up and the front door being opened.
Farouk!
I'm back.
Farouk, how could you? You have a damn nerve coming in here after that phone call.
I know, Salma. I'm sorry you had to hear it in that way. I never meant to.
You never meant what? For me to find out?
No, Salma. I meant I never intended to hurt you.
Really? Well, you sure got that wrong. How long did you think you could keep your mistress a secret?
She's not my mistress. Farhana is my wife.
Oh, is that how it is? And that makes it right? The fact that you married your mistress?
No, but...
You even have a son with her. How could you disgrace me like this? What is everyone going to say when they find out? And what are the kids going to think of me?
Salma, that's enough. Listen to me. I always told you I wanted to get married again. But you were so against it that I had to do it in secrecy. And I didn't do it because I don't love you. Of course I do. These are two completely separate issues.
That's what all men say.
Because it's true. Now that it's out in the open, you're just going to have to learn to live with it. Besides, there's a bigger problem that we are facing at the moment. Let me just get through this, Salma. Please. I'm just asking you for this one thing. Whatever you decide after that, I won't stop you. You're free to leave this marriage if that's what you want. And if you choose to stay, you have my word that my relationship with Farhana will never infringe on the relationship with you and our children. Now come, pull yourself together while I go and call the kids and explain the situation to them.
Farouk leaves the room to go and call Nazia, Bilal and Jarir, while Salma puts her head in her hands and sobs. She tries to pull herself together when she hears them all coming into the lounge, sensing their sullenness and their animosity towards their father.
Right, I'm sure you've all gathered what's been going on, but I just wanted to explain a few things. Right, so this is how it stands. I've been married for the past 15 years. As I told your mother, it was done with no intention to harm any of you. So yes, I was wrong in not coming clear from the beginning. But it's too late for regrets.
That's pathetic, Dad.
Nazia, man. Shh.
As I was saying, Farhana is my second wife. And I have a son with her, Amaan.
So we heard.
Just hear me out, guys. Anyway, Amaan went missing this afternoon between school and madrasa.
Oh, yes. And we just saw him at school.
So, everybody bangs, as I obviously would if I was somebody's child from a second marriage.
No, you're not understanding what I'm saying, Bilal. Amaan was kidnapped.
Yo, that's bad.
Really? That sounds a bit far-fetched.
No, seriously. When Farhana called me earlier, as I left here, I got a call from that same guy. The guy who was making those threat calls. And he said that we have Amaan.
Strange, eh? If only we just found out about him. How did these guys know that he was your son?
Whatever tactics they used, that's not the point. The point is that they have my son, who is also your half-brother.
Ha! Now suddenly you want to make family.
Nazia, I need you all to cooperate so that we can find him.
Straight up. I'm not getting involved. Your kid, your problem.
Come on, Nez. Don't you feel for him? Poor kid must be tough for him, wherever they're keeping him. But how are we supposed to help, Dad?
Yeah, what can we do?
This is a safe space for all of us. And Alhamdulillah, these guys have not found it thus far. At the moment, all of us are targets for them. But they have made it clear that their next target is Farhana,
Your wife? She's not our problem.
She may not be your problem, but she's my wife.
So what are you planning to do, Dad?
I'm bringing Farhana to stay with us.
Dad, don't do that.
What? Farouk, are you crazy? There's no way I'm allowing that. That husband stealer to stay in my house?
Well, it's too late. She's already here.
While Farouk is dropping bombshell after bombshell on his family at the Khalis estate house, Maulana Hassan is sitting up with his wife Maryam when there is an urgent knock at his front door.
I wonder who it can be at this time of the night.
You go up to bed, Maryam. It must be someone looking for food.
Okay, but there is some of their chicken from lunch in the fridge if you want to give that away.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum, Hassan Papa.
Zaidan, what are you doing here?
Hassan Papa, I took your advice and I left. can I come inside? It's cold out here.
Of course. What am I even thinking, leaving you out in the cold? Come in, sit down. Ya Allah, Zaidan, you look terrible. How did you even get here?
I took an Uber.
But all the way from Natal? Yo, that must have cost you a fortune.
It did, but I just had to get away.
Are you even allowed to do that? I mean, won't you get into trouble at school?
No, I did tell one of the other boys. We'll sort it out when I go home. Anyway, I don't ever want to go back there.
You know your parents are at the Makhali's house, right? Is that why you came here?
Yes, I know it's late, but I just needed to speak to you.
About the Sheldon guy? Is that why you left?
Yes. Oh, Asa Papa, I just couldn't take it anymore. I was so afraid that he was going to come back for me. I didn't know what to do, so I just ran away.
Shh, say, don't cry. It will work out in the end. Besides, I think it's best that you left that environment. It's a very difficult test for anyone to undergo, and especially you're so young and you have been brought up in a relatively sheltered space.
Yeah, but what's Daddy going to say? He's going to be so mad that I ran away.
It isn't running away, it's just extricating yourself from a situation that could have destroyed your life. You'll see, your dad will understand. I'm just so relieved that, you were not hurt in any way, and even more than that, Zaidan, that you were not influenced to take up that completely haram way of life. There are so many people, even in our community, who are choosing to have these same-sex relationships and go against the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a massive, massive sin. And if it means changing your environment so that you don't get caught up in it, then believe me, you've made the right decision.
I hope so. It's just so hard,
Yes, I do know. But when you're doing an action for the pleasure of Allah, then Allah will make a way out for you. Don't worry. Everything is going to be okay. Now, why don't I make up the bed in the spare room for you? You can sleep here tonight, and in the morning I'll drive you down to Makhalisburg.
The Ghani family sits in silence as Farouk leads Farhana and her sister Rubina into the spacious holiday home. It is the first time that they are seeing her, and after having gotten over the shock that she is Farouk's secretary's sister, they all sit in tense, stony silence.
Now listen, I know this is not the ideal situation, but you must understand that I have no choice but to protect my entire family. And the only way I can do this is by having you all under one roof.
What about Zaidan, Dad?
I won't send him back when he comes from midterm until this situation is resolved.
Well, there's no way I'm going to be staying in this house with this woman.
I am truly so sorry. Please believe me. I would do anything not to be here. But with Amaan missing.
Come on. Stop playing the sympathy card. Mom, are you just going to stand by and watch while Dad brings his other wife and her sister to come stay in our house? That's just disgusting.
What can I do? Farouk, you can't allow this.
That's pathetic, Mom. Stand up for yourself. This is your house and Dad forced us all to move here.
But where will I go?
So that's what it's about. You won't stand up for yourself because without Daddy's money, you're nothing. You came from such a poor family and you said yourself that you'll never go back there. So you'll just let Dad trample all over you.
And... okay, it's a really unusual situation. and I suggest we all calm down and make the best of it. None of you know Amaan, but he's also Mr. Ghani's child, and at the moment, both my sister and your father are in distress. Can't we resolve all these differences after Amaan is found? And inshallah, he will be.
No caller ID.
Oh my God, Dad, that must be the kidnappers.
Put the phone on speaker, Daddy.
Hands shaking, Farouk answers the phone and is not surprised to hear the familiar voice of the first kidnapper on the line. Everyone sits and listens tensely to the conversation.
Hello?
Farouk, my good friend. See, I stuck to my word. I did say I'll call you soon.
Where's Amaan? What did you do with him?
He's fine. Don't worry. We're looking after him. We even found out that his favorite food is the charter. So we got him some. And now he's sleeping like a baby. So we're ready to start negotiations.
What do you want?
Oh, we won't clean you out, Farouk. We know you also need something to live on. So for a mere 50 million rand, we're willing to send a small boss home.
50 million rand?
Don't act so damn shocked, Mr. Ghani. We know what you want.
Let me speak to Amaan first.
Didn't you hear me, Farouk? He's sleeping at the moment. I'll wake him up to speak to you if you so urgently want to hear his voice. So,
come on, boy. Get up. Your father wants to speak to you.
Hello, Papa? Don't worry. Okay. Just please give them what they want. Or else.
عشوة شوف العشوة عشوة فيها لمة عشوة تسعد قلبك في برنامج عشوة في برنامج عشوة لا 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 لا.
We are excited to announce that the Radio Islam app is available on Android as well as the iOS platform. Download it today, access seamless streaming, salah times, recipes and all other features available for free from Radio Islam International.